Take a breath today, not to escape the work, but to center the why behind it. Be present in your purpose. Move with intention, not urgency. Lead from peace, not pressure. Mindfulness isn't slowing down the mission, it's sharpening it. Stay grounded, stay focused, stay Mindful Mondays, 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 Mindful Mondays. Mindful Monday, Mindful Monday. Yeah, Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays. Take a breath today, Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays, yeah. Mindful Mondays, Mindful Monday, Mindful Monday, Mindful Monday, Mindful Monday, Mindful Mondays. Take a breath today, Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays. Take a breath today, Mindful Monday. Take a breath today. Take a breath today. Take a breath today, Mindful Mondays, Mindful Monday. Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath today. Mindful Mondays, Mindful Monday. Take a breath today. Take a breath today. Take a breath. Take a breath today. Take a breath today. Take a breath today. Mindful Monday. Take a breath today. 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 Mindful Monday. Take a breath. Take a breath today. Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath today. Take a breath today. Take a breath. Take a breath today. Take a breath today. Take a breath today. Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath today. Take a breath. Take a breath today. Mindful Mondays. Mindful Monday. Take a breath today. Not to escape the work, but to center the why behind it. Be present in your purpose. Move with intention, not urgency. Lead from peace, not pressure. Mindfulness isn't slowing down the mission, it's sharpening it. Stay grounded, stay focused, stay Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays. Take a breath today, Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays, yeah. Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays, Mindful Monday, Mindful Monday, Mindful Monday, Mindful Mondays. Take a breath today. Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays. Take a breath today. Mindful Monday. Take a breath today. Take a breath today. Take a breath today. Mindful Mondays. Mindful Mondays. Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath today. Mindful Mondays. Mindful Mondays. Take a breath today. Take a breath today. Take a breath. Take a breath today. Take a breath today. Take a breath today. Mindful Monday. Take a breath today. 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 Mindful Monday. Take a breath. Take a breath today. Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath today. Take a breath today. Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath today. Mindful Mondays. Mindful Monday. Take a breath today. Not to escape the work, but to center the why behind it. Be present in your purpose. Move with intention, not urgency. Lead from peace, not pressure. Mindfulness isn't slowing down the mission, it's sharpening it. Stay grounded, stay focused, stay Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays. Take a breath today, Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays. Yeah. Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays. Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays. Take a breath today, Mindful Monday. Take a breath today. Take a breath today. Take a breath today, Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays. Take a breath, take a breath, take a breath, take a breath today. Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays. Take a breath today. Take a breath today. Take a breath. Take a breath today. Take a breath today. Take a breath today. Mindful Monday. Take a breath today. 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 Mindful Monday. Take a breath. Take a breath today. Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath today. Take a breath today. Take a breath. Take a breath today. Take a breath today. Take a breath today. Take a breath today. take a breath, take a breath, take a breath today. Take a, take a, take a, take a, take a, take a breath, take a breath, take a breath, take a breath, take a breath today. Mindful Mondays. Mindful Monday. Take a breath today. Not to escape the work, but to center the why behind it. Be present in your purpose. Move with intention, not urgency. Lead from peace, not pressure. Mindfulness isn't slowing down the mission, it's sharpening it. Stay grounded, stay focused, stay. Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays.
Good evening, good evening. Let me start by saying good afternoon to everyone. It's a beautiful day on this Monday. We started with some showers, but we are ending off with a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. I see nothing but sunshine going forward. However, I'm Tavon Brooks, your host. We're here on Mindful Mondays. Keep in mind that the opinions and comments made on Mindful Mondays are those solely of the program host and not necessarily those of the management of the Hidden Gem or Harris Stowe or the RHF, which is the Black Radio Hall of Fame, or any other affiliated business. This is an open platform. We're here to cultivate ideas, share ideas, expand our horizon to see how can we, as Dr. Jackson put it in the beginning of the podcast, how can we make St. Louis a better place? I'm Tavon Brooks, your host. We have a huge, I want to say huge, but we have a beautiful agenda for you today, myself and Dr. Jackson. And it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. And I won't say will you be mine, but Dr. Jackson, how are you, sir?
I am doing great. That almost sounds like a line from Mr. Rogers.
You
It's
know,
a
I used to watch that
beautiful
when I was
day
growing
in
up.
the neighborhood. Well, the bottom line is we always wanted to feel assured that it was a beautiful day in the neighborhood. As usual, we have a very nice program, we think. And again, give us some feedback. One of the reasons that we want feedback is so that we can make sure we are meeting your needs. This is the Mindful Monday show. And one of the things that we do is that we talk about what's current, we talk about past history, and we move forward. Let's do one thing here that we always try to do, and that is we try to talk about the 7-day forecast. And I'm looking for that information. information now. I tell you what, I'll come back to that. Is Dr. Parr on?
Dr. Jackson, right now, he's not on yet. No one's in the back room. But they should
Oh,
have always sent the link, but they'll be on soon.
okay. Well, I was just ready to let me get a see if I can do that. And that will give us here we go. Well,
I see you
oh,
learning how to navigate it quick.
I want to share my screen. Well, I'm trying. I just wanted to give folk of what's forthcoming in this show.
Okay.
First of all, we're going to, and Tavon will take care of that. He'll do the broadcast disclaimer. After the broadcast disclaimer, then I'm going to do the weather forecast. Easy Ed is taking care of some business related to his community. We're going to have his history highlights with Dr. David Parr. Cheryl Watts will be joining us for our technology moment. And then Norman Ross, Dr. Ross, will be joining us for ancient African history. John Skates will be on with the story, and I already have them. And Lewis Cross should be coming on with some helpful hints. And if he doesn't, he's already sent me his hints so I can share those. Then later on, I will talk a little bit about the difference between a grant versus a loan, because a number of people have said, "What's the best way to go?" And it really depends on your, position. But I will do, in terms of our grant segment, I will talk about the grant versus a loan. I'll give updates on the CDA grant, and I'll also talk a little bit about the Deaconess Foundation grant. And we this time we're going to have one of our guests is actually listening to the show and felt that she would much rather listen to see what our format looked like first, and then after the format, she would next week probably join us. So we're going to adhere to her schedule, and we want everybody to feel comfortable as it relates to the program. So, what do you think about the agenda?
I love the agenda. I love the fact that there's a lot of information that they're going to be sharing. I love how it flows from history from America, then even goes back to the far way back ancient, where, because again, we need the roots. And then I love how Ms. Watts give the tech, because tech is definitely something important. And nowadays it's growing with all the data centers coming in the St. Louis city. That's a topic we need to discuss. So I love the show. I love the agenda. Just keep in mind that the opinions and comments made on Mindful Mondays does not impede on any of the management, which is Hidden Gem, which is Dr. Jackson's entity, which is Harris Stowe Black Radio Hall of Fame, or any other entity that affiliated with the Mindful Monday. This is an open platform. We're here to cultivate ideas, as I said, share ideas. How can we make St. Louis a better living and social space? As we know, crime is fluctuating between up and down. Things are happening. Summer is here, and activities for the children is needed. This is why Dr. Jackson shares the grants, because those grants allow funds for organizations to be able to create activities for our children, and we know for sure it's needed. So, Dr. Jackson, I love the agenda. I have a question. I was
Okay.
talking
The other
to
thing, okay,
you were saying.
I stopped so I could hear your question.
So I had a actually it was a neighbor that watches the podcast kind of weekly, and he asked me a question which was kind of funny. He said, all the work you're doing, Tavon, you have Dr. Jackson, you have other doctors, you have Job Corps. He said, I see all the work you're doing, but is it really going to help? Is it helping? Is it changing? Why are you doing this? Why don't you work for yourself and just forget everybody else? And he made me think, because non-for-profit work, servitude work, and even work dealing with any of the community, it is tedious. It is uh, challenging, but I have a love and passion for seeing just one individual succeed. And once that one individual succeed, I feel like I saved the whole family, which is another brick to the wall. So I just want to be remembered by doing something good. So that's my answer to him. And I'm asking you,
Respond
sir,
to
why do you do this? Why do you keep giving to people and sometimes don't give back to you? Why do you keep giving to a city that sometimes don't recognize you? Why do you keep giving back to families and organizations that sometimes don't give back to you? You see
reason
what happened?
why we want one person can make a difference. We know that it's been proven that a concerned citizenry makes up for a great democracy. Today, and that's one of the reasons why I'm going back and review some of the proposals that we've been talking about. Hannah, thanks for joining us. Hannah, thanks for joining us. And I see the beautiful Cheryl Watts. She has a tan. She's been golfing. She'll tell us about that later on. But let me just respond to that question. We know that we can and will make a difference. And if some people are gathered together, trying to make a difference, if we only help one person, then Tavon, the work that you carved out for yourself will be important. One of the pieces I'm going to do today is that as I review some of the grants, I'm going to, if with your permission and City Vision, I'm going to show how City Vision fits into one of the proposals, and not only fits into one of the proposals, will make a difference in the lives of some people. And so tell that person, I hope they're on, that they hang in and we go from there. Let's take care of the day weather forecast. St. Louis is, Cheryl, that if you are in St. Louis
Yes,
in
I'm in
one
St. Louis,
week,
John.
have three different seasons in 1 week. Now, stop me when I start prevaricating or mendacitating or lying. Stop me. Am I lying, Tavon?
No, you're not. I just learned a new word. Madasa
Okay,
painting. What
well
do you? How
let
you say
me
that word?
go. Let me go to the weather and let's see mendacitate.
Okay.
Mendacitate. I tell you that she's also very much like she is able to um,
That's why. See, what we need for Dr. Jackson, he needs better tech. See, and that's where you come in at because he comes with. He's a producer of Mindful Mondays, but he have the raggediest tech in his house. And I can say that right now because
I've
he's not
done
on.
it so badly now, Tavon.
I can only do that when he popped up because he's not here right now. So, but how are you today, Miss Watts?
Um, I will say that I am, some people would say, I am dog tired, but that was from um, our event as uh, the Legend Singers Choral Ensemble yesterday had a um, our 85th anniversary celebration in which we did dinner and a concert as well as presentations of our history and so forth at the Phyllis Wheatley YWCA Heritage Center.
Mm,
And of course, as being a member of the leadership team and intimately involved in producing the whole event, uh, somebody should have reminded me that it's not a good idea to run around in 4-inch heels for 5 hours. That is not the smart thing to do.
mm,
But it was wonderful. And then in recent weeks, I've unfortunately missed the show because we took a trip out of the country, my husband and I. And then I served as a delegate at a convention out of
mm,
state. And then I had tech failure from weather incidents, but we're here.
mm-hmm,
We are here today.
mm,
So while John is getting himself back together, a couple of weeks ago, I mentioned a little device. It's like a pair of earbuds. In fact, that's what they are. But these are uniquely tied to an app that you run on your phone where you can hear conversations in another language and it shows you on your phone exactly what is being said. So, and it also helps you to respond. So I tested this thing out 3 weeks ago when we went to Meeches in the Dominican Republic, and it works very, very nicely. So making an investment of in a device like this uh, that ranges in price from about $40 on up to much more sophisticated models that run a little bit in excess of $100. I think a $40 investment was worth it so that not only could I receive and make my phone calls and that kind of thing and listen to music, but I could also understand the people around me who were speaking Spanish. I'm
mm.
still in the process of learning. I can respond fairly well, but it's nice to be able to fully know and understand what's going on around you when you are visiting in another country where English is not the standard language and where many people may not have much exposure to English. So this was a good thing. It was a good test.
So, a question. So, with that, so it was in real time, hearing the conversation and translating it to you so you can hear it in real time.
Yeah, you hear it and you see the translation in real time on your phone.
Mm, nice.
So this little $40 investment was worth it when we were in the Dominican Republic. As I told you guys about a month ago when we were getting ready to go, it was very handy. Not only, as I said, to receive any phone calls that I might need, listen to music when I was offline, and then hear what people were saying around me and see a real time translation where I can understand and communicate more effectively as I learn more of the Spanish language. So that
Now,
was a good.
how was the accuracy?
The accuracy was excellent.
Hmm. So
Accuracy is excellent.
did you happen to hear any conversation behind the scene where they wasn't aware that you were listening and and hear things you may not have been happy to hear?
Yes, you could hear some background conversations, but fortunately, no, we did not. I did not hear undesirable communications
I like how you said that
or
undesirable.
unflattering communications. That was fortunate. Having been an international traveler for several decades, there is a way that you present yourself as an American citizen that makes a difference in the way that people respond to you. So if you come across as relatively friendly and open, and you address people politely and you ask politely, you get polite responses, you get friendly responses, and you will find that many, many people are more than willing to help you with whatever you need when you approach them. I'm sorry,
Mhm.
when you approach them in that in a civil manner.
Mm. It's
We
funny you
know that
say
there's
that.
we know there's the image of the quote non-quote ugly American, and I don't blame other countries and cultures. I don't blame them for not being too receptive to Americans who present the ugly American stereotype.
Mhm.
But when you present yourself in a different manner, you are treated in a different manner. And if you are at least making some attempts at communicating in their language, people are very much more receptive and much friendlier.
Mhm. It's funny you mentioned that because I took a trip to London before, Paris, London, and when I went, as I was going through the checkpoint, one of the security guards who happened to be American told me that he noticed I had an Israeli passport. He said I should use my Israeli passport because Americans are treated bad because we come in arrogantly. So when he said that to me, I still use my American passport, but you're absolutely correct. The way you treat others, as far as respect and even talking to them, and just simple hand gestures and body motion,
Hmm.
that helps a lot in travel. That helps a lot with people mistaking you for, if they don't understand your language, your body language can resonate really what you're trying to say. And if
Hmm.
it shows respect, it's all about it. And I highly believe that even in St. Louis, working in the city I'm working in, I can walk in any city, and because my body language has been, I'm conscious of what I do and how I move. I respect those who have earned my respect. I respect everybody, but if you disrespect me, then I'm just gonna walk away. But you're absolutely correct. So what tech do we have today?
That was our
Besides,
tech.
that was that tech. Okay, okay,
That was
okay,
our tech. Remember, I promised, and I
okay,
kept my promise
okay, okay, okay,
to
okay.
review the tech. And like I said, I really found it handy, and I feel that like with my little my little miniature bag of tricks from golf, for a relatively small investment, it made a significant difference. But also repeating that the way you present yourself, and if you show and indicate that you are willing to try to communicate in a different language, and of course you acknowledge that no, you don't speak the language very well, but if you are at least trying and you learn a few basic phrases, you will find that people are respond to you so much differently than
Mhm.
in other circumstances. Good morning, John. Good morning, John.
Well, I'm back. I have a technology.
You got a technology problem.
Yeah, John has a technology issue that we need to get resolved.
Quick. Because I mean, I know he believes he's a handsome young man. I ain't, but he don't want to get stuck on the screen with his face looking like
But John, I have a suggestion for you if you can hear me. Um, if you check your camera settings and whoops, I guess
He
you'll be
still can
back.
hear you. He still can hear you.
Oh, okay. If you check your camera settings and you put them instead of in full HD, take it down a level to 720, and you will find that uh, you may come across a lot better and stop freezing up. I was having a lot of freezing issues when I finally decided to check my camera settings, and that's what I found happened. Instead of coming across in full HD, I come across in what is called web or streaming um, capability, and it works better.
Miss Watts, can you explain a little bit about why the difference? Full HD compared to 720, why does a buffer take more space when it's full HD?
You really just said just about everything
I was trying
that
to act
I
like
would
I didn't
say.
know, but
It's that we know that images are cast in pixels, and when you are appearing in full HD, you are broadcasting many, many more pixels across your camera going across the web than you would, for example, in 720. HD gives you the highest detail, so it makes you really, really look like you're live, completely live. 720 does a good job, and I am broadcasting through my camera at 720. If you can go down to the lowest setting, which is low resolution, it can be a little fuzzy, but it still gives you a pretty good image and a pretty good ability to broadcast without your camera freezing up. As we know, everything that we use with our devices like tablets, cameras, and phones, the more stuff you have running, chewing up memory, the less memory you have for that camera to broadcast. So it will freeze up on you.
hmm hmm yep, I do like that, and I've had that issue a few times, and I had to. So if you don't want to reduce your camera to a lower grade, there another option that we can keep the grade. So what other option would you recommend if you want to keep the HD?
Your other options are to make sure you're not running a lot of extra applications in the background, that you're fully focused on this one web browser getting into this podcast. Another option would be to spend a little bit more money on your webcam instead of using the integrated webcam. Add one to your system that is compatible and that is more scalable. And of course, your third option is add more memory.
Which is considered RAM, correct?
Random access memory, yes.
Okay.
And lastly, check your internet service provider's bandwidth. The better your bandwidth, the better your broadcasting, your emailing, your everything that you do.
hmm Understood. Keep in mind that the opinions and comments made on Mindful Mondays are solely those of the program host. And we say that because our platform is an open platform. I personally believe that I can learn from those coming up behind me and those who are in front of me. And we all have our way of doing things. So it doesn't impede what we say on the management, Harris Stowe, BIHF Internet Radio, or any other affiliated businesses, City Vision, Hidden Gem. We're here to figure out how can we make our city great again. Dr. Jackson, back to you, sir.
Well, I didn't hear the part. Tell us about where you went to play golf, and did you need your translator when you went there?
Well, I didn't go to play golf because it was a short visit. We went to an area in the Dominican Republic called Miches, and it's a quiet area. It's not an area like Punta Cana where there's a gazillion places to go and things to do. The activities were more limited, and golf would have been about a 50 to 60-minute drive just to get there. So I did not take my golf clubs, did not play golf while we were there. In fact, John, as you are aware, as a member of the Legend Singers Choral Ensemble, I had 9 zillion tasks to do. I haven't had time to
Oh,
play golf
of
in
course.
the
I
past
was gonna
couple
ask,
of weeks.
I was gonna ask you, I was gonna ask you, I understand the show was sold out. As a
Yes,
matter of
sir.
fact, I
Yes,
usually,
sir.
for the Mindful Monday show, Tavon, they usually send me a complimentary ticket. They didn't even send Tavon. I was gonna let you enjoy them. I say Tavon, our host, ought to get this one. And guess what? They sold out. They sold
Mm.
out the back, the front, the side. Tell us about that, Cheryl, and tell us how dynamic that concert was.
Well, first of all, the event was the celebrating the 85th anniversary of the Legend Singers Choral Ensemble that was formed in 1940 by Dr. Kenneth Brown Billups. There are many, many, many people in the city of St. Louis who recognize that name from Sumner High School. Um, when we say 85 years, we mean 85 continually performing years. Not a year was missed, not even during COVID when we actually performed virtually. And to have this event, of course, we had to search for a venue because we decided that Rhapsody in Black would be more or less like a dinner theater or dinner show. So we were searching for venues. One member of our leadership team, our president, Gwendolyn Wesley, suggested the Phyllis Wheatley Heritage Center. And at that meeting, I said, stop. We have to go there. We absolutely have to go there. The reason? For decades, the legend singers under Dr. Billups and later Reverend Malachi Owens Jr. rehearsed in the basement of the Phyllis Wheatley Residential Center for decades.
Also, also, Phyllis Wheatley was one of the first African American poets that
Correct.
was recognized, and so the center was named after her. And what a fitting place! Uh, Again, Tavon, I'm sorry you didn't get a chance to hear it, but Cheryl Watts is going to help both of us. She's going to send us at least some excerpts from that performance so we can end one of our shows with some of those excerpts. I understand from two or three of my friends that it was fantastic.
Yes, it
Did they
was. It
lie,
was hard
Cheryl?
work. It was hard work. And as I stated with Tavon earlier, when you kind of fell off the bandwidth there, someone should have told me that it was not a good idea to be running around in 4-inch heels for about 5 hours. That was not a good idea on my part. But through the efforts
Well,
of
I don't know. I don't know how that feels, but tell me, how did it feel running around in 4-inch high heels? And I, I never, I never experienced that. Never wanted to experience it.
let's put it this way. If you have ever been on a very long walk or a long hike where your feet at your toes actually become numb and your feet are swollen and you're too afraid to take your shoes off to get comfortable, then you know what I mean. But with the
Okay.
efforts of everyone within the Legend Singers, some volunteers, including some of our newly elected board members, the staff at the center, then we have a group of musicians that have played with us and for us for more than 20 years. This was just just totally came together,
Coming
and
together.
we were flying high, literally having a good time
Okay.
doing what we do
Will
best.
you will you honor our request and at least let us hear one cut maybe next Monday? At least
Um,
one.
well, I don't know if I can do that because we had a videographer and photographer on site who
Oh, I
is
understand.
putting together our video and so forth so that we can see and hear what we have done.
Well,
But what I can
Tavon,
do for you
the,
is I will send you, John and Tavon, I
look,
will send you the
are you on?
PowerPoint that we had running during dinner, and you can show we can show bits of it because it's not a short presentation, but you'll see much of what the Legend Singers is all about. I can do that for you.
I like that. I like that. And I would like to know more about the Legend Singers. And I'm sure our audience would like to know more about them too. Because I didn't think you were in St. Louis. I thought you was in Indiana for some reason. I don't know why. I thought you
No,
were in Indiana, So
no, nope, nope, nope. I haven't
I
been
learned
in
something new
Indiana
again.
for quite a while.
I learned something new again. So for your last words to the audience, anything you'd like to share about any of your experiences tech-wise, or even now that I know that you're a high-profile singer that be selling shows out, anything you would like to say to the audience?
Well, tech wise, as we were discussing about being on streaming applications like this one, or you're doing Zoom meetings, or you're doing FaceTime, anything like that, and you're having problems, check your tech. Make sure you've got plenty of open memory. Um, check your provider's bandwidth. And one thing, if you are going through low country or up in high country in the woods, please don't expect to get the best reception. It just doesn't happen.
Or don't take a trip to the woods when you got an important business meeting the next day and
Oh
you in the
no.
woods.
Oh no.
It's why it's
Well,
always a pleasure talking to you.
the Cheryl, we will do you one better. Tavon and I are always thinking we'll do you one better. When your videographer gets the piece together that I suspect that you guys will sell, um, we don't do any promotions in general, but we will invite that person on so they can tell us about the legend singers and their recent concert. We won't try to do any selling, but we will find out what do you need to do to become a videographer, and then why was the legend singers concert so dynamic and so forth and so on. So if you arrange that for us, check back with Tavon and we'll schedule that person as soon as we can. Okay?
I will most certainly send you his contact information, and I think he will probably be thrilled to be a part of this show. And one thing I can say about
Do
him,
you
this gentleman is just excellent in his skills and in his ability to get the best out of people for both photography and for videography. Uh, very, very, very professional person. And I will send you his contact information. In the meantime, I told Tavon I would send you guys um, the PowerPoint
a snippet?
presentation that was running. during dinner, and you might be able to pick and choose parts of that to show if you, unless you want to take 10-15 minutes to show the whole thing, and I don't think you want to do that. But you can show some parts
Well,
of it.
What we can do, Dr. Jackson,
we might have
we
go
can
on,
put a link.
Tavon. I'm sorry.
Put a link at the bottom of the next show, so when people do view the show, they can actually click on the link and view the show on their own.
Oh, that would be great.
Okay.
And what we might do, Cheryl, Tavon is a genius like that. We might show 5 minutes of it and then say, if indeed you want to hear and see the rest, go to the link.
Yeah.
So we'll do that.
That's a good idea. I think what will work best will to will be for us to put it out on our Facebook or Instagram,
Okay, good.
and in that
Okay,
way,
great.
it'll be an open link, open public link.
Okay,
We'll do that.
we will do what we can we, because we appreciate the grant writer and singer who is also our technology expert. So she wears many hats, and as Tavon said, he started naming off all the hats. We'd be here all day trying to figure all of that out.
Okay. Well.
You're very
Okay. Well.
talented. You
Uh,
are a Renaissance woman. That is to say that you have many talents. It is really, really great. All of them. Lose it,
yeah.
Tavon.
Yeah. You froze up again, John.
Dr.
Uh,
Jackson, we got to get you a better network, because, or maybe you have to move closer to your Wi-Fi, or even plug an Ethernet cable from your router to your computer, something like that, to get it more stable. Because we can't,
Well,
your most important piece here
yeah,
in this podcast.
yeah, right. Well,
okay.
that's true. I see Dr. Parr is ready to go.
He ready. He got his sleeves off. He ready to go. Look at him.
Well, I will have to say farewell, gentlemen, and to the audience. I
Wait,
have another meeting and a couple of other tasks coming up very, very quickly.
Hey, what's up,
all right.
Cheryl? Before
Again,
you
Hey,
thank
go,
you.
I hope you can hear me.
Yeah,
What's up,
thank
Cheryl?
you.
tired feet from a Legend Singers event yesterday and a tired voice, but all is well.
Well, I hope that voice gets better. And those feet, just soak them in a nice hot tub of water with some Epsom salt. And that's kind of old-fashioned way, but that helps.
Now, believe it or not, ice was better. All right, farewell, gentlemen, for the day. We'll
All
see
right.
you next week.
Thank you again for sharing.
Again, everyone, keep in mind that the opinions and comment made on Mindful Mondays, which happen every Monday from 12 to 2. I don't care if it rains, I don't care if it's snow, I don't care if it's another tornado,
Holiday.
holiday. This is for you. This is a platform, this is a podcast, this is the avenue of information that you can always be informed about what you need to know. We have history, we have weather, we have sports, we have every topic, politics, that you, whatever you want to think about that makes St. Louis better or make your city better, we have it here on Mindful Mondays. Dr. Paul, how are you, sir?
I'm doing fine, Tavon. How are you today?
Life is what you make it, as always. I'm glad to be a part of the movers and shakers.
Yeah, I don't know whether you forgot me this morning. You didn't hit me with the signal.
So I got to check that, because the link gets sent out early in the morning. So I need to see why everyone isn't receiving it the right way. But I'll make sure that's fixed.
Yeah, because I tried to come on. I do have an old signal, but it didn't seem to register. So the new signals always come in and work on that particular day. And since we're into now the month of June, swinging over, um, it's you know it's been very interesting. June is that month when we begin to have fantastic festivities, graduations, and all that. And I have been enjoying all the graduation parties as much as I can. I have my god grandson graduated from um, Western Christian Academy, got a track scholarship. Has been one of the top 100 meter, 200 meter men in the area in the state actually, and that's awesome. My granddaughter had her graduation, her eighth grade graduation ceremony, so she'll be going into the high school. Uh, at State High School in Lawrence, Kansas. She is in heels, 6 foot even, with long flowing hair. That's scary, man. My grandson is graduated from the fifth grade, and he's starting to grow. So it's going to be interesting. I hope to get back there around July the 4th holiday, which is my son's birthday, and see if my grandson is strung up a little bit. I had a couple of things I wanted to say, but I'll bring them up next Monday. I just want to um, get into the uh, events or some events in African American history, because some of these are very important dates. If you don't mind,
Not at all.
okay, I'm going to start off with May, which with the month we've just finished. On May 25th, 1919, Madam C.J. Walker, a groundbreaking breaking beauty entrepreneur, a philanthropist, and is widely recognized as America's first self-made African American female millionaire. She passed away on May 25th, 1919. Walker journeyed from being a laundress, earning $1.50 a day. Get
Wow.
that, $1.50 a day, to a business tycoon, and is an outstanding example of the old rags to riches program. She became again, she became one of the first African American female millionaires. Although there is evidence that a young lady in Oklahoma, 14 years old, was a millionaire before her because she was close to the oil industry and she had a couple of oil wells on her property. Um, but Madam C.J. Walker is recognized um, mostly as that person, whereas the other person is there and people know of her, but there's that controversy. May 25th, 1856, Wilberforce University was founded in Ohio as a joint venture between the Methodist Episcopal Church and the African Episcopal Methodist Church. It was created to provide a classical education and teaching training for black youth, many of whom were biracial children of white enslavers. That meant the slave owners, um, enforced their wills on the women who were in their possession. Wilberforce closed briefly during the Civil War in 1862. In 1863, it was purchased by the A&M Church, making it the first college in the United States owned and operated by African Americans. Bishop Daniel Alexander Payne became the president of Wilberforce University, making him the first African American to serve as a university, not a college, but a university president in the United States. May 25th, 1926, jazz legend Miles Davis, my idol, one of my idols anyway, was born in Alton, Illinois. Miles revolutionated jazz through the eras of bebop and jazz fusion. Jazz fusion is really, really awesome. And of course, Nelson Cool Jazz is always awesome. And of course, Miles, John, Dr. Jackson, and I all played basically the same instrument. May 25th, 1972, the first African Liberation Day was held in the United States when over 10,000 African Americans marched in Washington, D.C. to protest racial inequity and to show solidarity for the anti colonial struggles in Africa. As you know, many of the European countries still go to Africa to try to colonize it because of the diamonds, because of the oil, and other things. So this was a protest also not just for African American equality in this country, but equality for the African people in Africa too. May 25th, 2020, naturally, the day that George Floyd, an unarmed African American, was killed by Minneapolis police. This sparked not a worldwide protest against system racism and police brutality. Um, and some of that information and some of those protests are still going on, especially when the police still are showing their aspect of brutality. And I keep stating out the broadcast, and it tells me that my aim of this is yours. Is there anything I can do to help that?
No, not right now.
I've got a presentation I need to do in about 10 minutes. Later on, there's something you can do to,
I can look at it, but that's really the AT&T thing.
and I'll probably do. Okay, there I am. Okay, I want to go to May 26th, 1799. And that was May 26th, 1799 on the Julian calendar. It's actually June 6th on our present calendar, which is the Gregorian calendar. Now, the reason for that is because after a certain period, they got rid of the old Julian calendar. And on that date, Alexander Pushkin, often called the father of modern Russian literature, Pushkin was born. He was the maternal grandfather of Abraham Petrovich Ganibral, who was an African, mostly from a country what is presently today Cameroon. He was kidnapped as a child. His great grandfather was kidnapped as a child and eventually brought to Russia and became actually the godson of Peter the Great, who was the Tsar of Russia at that time. Alexander Pushkin basically is 1/8 African American. It's a Russian. Many people don't realize that people, even from this country, some people who were enslaved from this country and got away, instead of going to Canada, went to Russia. And so there are some people of African descent in Russia. And one of the modern Russian literature persons, Alexander Pushkin, is of African American descent, even though he's probably 1/8 African. In some of his poetry and some of his literature, he highlighted his African American roots. He is so proud of being part African American, especially his curly hair, which many Russians do not have, and especially his darker complexion, again, which many Russians do not have. He has written some tremendous literature, and if you get a chance to read some of the Russian literature, you'll find it to be very interesting. May 26, 1956, tennis legend Althea Gibson won the French Open singles title, becoming the first African American to win a major tennis championship. And of course, following her was Arthur Ashe, who is a Sumner graduate from St. Louis. He came to St. Louis to learn a tennis trade from uh, Dr. Hutland, and he became, again, one of the second leading African American tennis players in his country. On May 26, 1965, the U.S. Senate passed a landmark voting rights bill, moving the country a major step closer to guaranteeing rights for African Americans. Do you know this country has passed at least three voting rights or three rights guaranteeing the African Americans the right to vote? Why did they have to do that three times? That's the question. Because they couldn't, they did not enforce the other two, so they had to do it again and again, and they're still working on doing those things. On May 27th, 1892, a white mob attacked and destroyed the Memphis, Tennessee office of the newspaper Free Speech and Headlights. The Free Speech and Headlights was owned and operated by civil rights pioneer and anti-lynching crusader Ida B. Wells. The destruction was in retaliation for Wells's bold editorials on violent lynching of African Americans in the South. And she was an advocate against the lynching of African Americans, and she tried to point out the violence and the discrimination and the killings of African Americans through lynching. On May 22nd, 1942, Doris Dorian Miller received the Navy Cross for his extraordinary and many heroisms during, can anybody tell me?
For some reason, we having bad network connection. For some reason, it keeps going in and out.
That's okay. I was talking about Dory Miller. He received a Navy Cross for his extraordinary and heroism during what event?
What event was that? Was that the? I'm lost.
Yeah, it was a day that our president said was a date of infamy, which means infamy again means bad, not good.
So this was the current president?
No.
So you see, come on,
Okay,
Doctor.
I'll go ahead and this is something that you guys should know, but I'll go ahead and tell you. He was during the Second World War. He was the person that when his ship was bombed, the Arizona, I think, he was the one who as a cook never handled a machine gun, went into the armory, brought out a machine gun, shot down two Japanese airplanes.
Is that the brother on?
Yeah, when he ran out of ammunition, he ditched the machine gun, jumped in the water, and started saving those sailors who were in the water and, of course, naturally on fire from all the damage. He also ended up saving his captain because his captain was also trying to rescue sailors, but he also got into trouble, and he ended up saving his captain also. He was awarded the Navy Cross on May 27, 1942. He was the first African American to be awarded the Navy Cross for action during the Second World War. Unfortunately, in 1943, he was killed when a submarine attacked the current ship that he was on. But he was the first African American to do that. May 27th, 1958, Ernest Green, the oldest member of the Little Rock Nine, became the first African American student to graduate from Central High School. I had the privilege of going to Central High School and seeing that whole scenario that I viewed on television. It was sort of exhilarating to see that kind of African American history and what the situation that those kids had been in. That was to me very enlightening. On May 27, 1962, Buck O'Neill, legendary baseball player, became the first African American coach in the Major League Baseball. He became a coach for the Chicago Cubs. Of course, Buck O'Neill passed away not too long ago. He was also the curator of the National Negro League Museum, which is in Kansas City. I had an opportunity to pass by there just last week, but didn't have an opportunity to go in. On May 28, 1863, the 54th Massachusetts Infantry Regiment, the first of the finest official African American units that participated in the Civil War, departed Boston for combat in the South. It was led by Colonel Robert G. Shaw. Robert G. Shaw was killed during the storming of, and quite a bit of the 54th was killed during the storming of Fort Wagner. That was also the regiment and the the people that were, I guess, glorified in the movie Glory. Um, Denzel Washington played the role of the young man who actually won a Medal of Honor for picking up that American flag. I mean, that American flag and advancing it in spite of being wounded. On May 28, 1963, civil rights activists and Tougaloo College students staged a high profile violent sit in at a white only Woolworth lunch counter in Jackson, Mississippi. The demonstrators endured hours of abuse while law enforcement officers simply watched them being abused. But they did persevered and did not deter from their mission of integrating the counter in Jackson, Mississippi, the Woolworth counter. And if any of you have ever lived in this city back in the late 40s or early 50s, our Woolworth counter in downtown St. Louis and Kresge's was basically the same. There was a counter for African Americans and a counter for white people until, I guess, the late or early 1950s. So it was basically the same. May 28, 2024, the legendary author, poet, movie director, and civil rights activist Maya Angelou passed away. Maya Angelou, by the way, was born in where?
St. Louis.
In St. Louis, Missouri, exactly. May 29th, 1851, in Akron, Ohio. Sojourner Truth, abolitionist and women's rights activist, delivered her Ain't I a Woman speech, which demanded equal rights for both African Americans and equal rights for women, helping shape the women's suffrage movement. She was, most people say she did not pronounce words correctly, but she was a fiery uh, abolitionist, and she did not hesitate to stand up for women's rights and the rights of African Americans. May 29th, 1865, President Andrew Johnson announced the Reconstruction Program, which it required the ratification of the 13th Amendment. But you know, his version of the 13th Amendment did not guarantee African Americans the right to vote. They had to go back and redo the 13th Amendment and actually sent the Senate vetoed. I mean, they passed the 13th Amendment in spite of Andrew Johnson's veto. And he did try to veto the right for African Americans to have the right to vote. May 29th, 1901, inventor Granville T. Woods received a patent for an overhead conducting system for the electric railroad, a major advancement in early public transportation. Granville Woods had a number of inventions for the transportation industry, for electric railroads, and a number of his inventions are being used in modern railroad technology today. But because of the racism and discrimination, he had to end up selling a lot of his inventions, and he sold them to major corporations like General Motors, like General Electric, so that he could continue inventing inventions. And fortunately, because he had to sell off a lot of his inventions, he ended up dying in poverty. A man who invented a lot of the things that are functioning in transportation today. May 29th, 1973, Thomas Bradley was elected as the first African American mayor of Los Angeles. He held that position for 20 years. That's amazing. May 30th, 1868, the first National Memorial Day was declared by General John A. Logan. By the way, Logan Junior College in Illinois is named after him. He officially proclaimed May 30th as Declaration Day to honor the Union soldiers. However, if you remember, the holiday root or concept was tied back to newly freed enslaved people in Charleston, South Carolina, 3 years before that in 1865. They organized a massive parade and ceremony to properly rebury Union soldiers who had died in a Confederate concentration camp in Charleston, South Carolina. So it was the forerunner of Memorial Day was established by African Americans. On May 30th, 1921, this began the catalyst for the Tulsa Race Massacre. On the morning of May 30th, 1921, a 19-year-old African American shoeshiner, Dick Rowland, entered the elevator at the Drexel building and had an encounter with a white female operator, Sarah Page, which led to accusations of sexual assault, and again, beginning the spark for a white mob to attack and destroy the prosperous Greenwood district in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Prosperous Greenwood district was called Black Wall Street. Over the next 2 days, they destroyed the Black Wall Street. The encounter, though details are not clear, is widely believed that Rowland, get this, accidentally stepped on her foot and not sexually assaulted her. She screamed, and Rowland, fearing for his life, he fled. He was later arrested the next day, and because of fear for Rowland's life, 75 African Americans, World War I veterans, went to the courthouse to protect Rowland. 75 armed African Americans. They were met by over 1,000 white supremacists and white mob leaders. They went anyway to help protect Rowland. In the process, things got mixed up. There was an altercation, weapons were fired, and that escalated the violence and led to the demolition of Black Wall Street. There was over about 35 blocks of devastation of African American businesses, homes, and African American lives. Over 100 African Americans were killed during the Black Wall Street massacre, or the Tulsa massacre. That massacre is considered the deadliest incident of racial violence in American history. They wiped out an entire prosperous African American community. We are talking about an African American community that had everything they wanted without going outside of their community. My quote today is from our esteemed Maya Angelou. She says, "We may encounter many defeats, but we must not be defeated." Again, I will repeat, we may encounter many defeats, but we must not be defeated. Maya Angelou basically meant defeat as an external event, like losing a job, failing a test, but you cannot allow those type of events to break your spirit. Facing defeat is something necessary for us to finally find out who you are and getting up after you have fallen down. We tell our kids, you got to get up. That's part of getting over or not being defeated. You can face defeat, but you do not succumb to being defeated. While aspects of life are unpredictable, and if you do not you do have control of your reaction to them. Remember, you have responsibility for reacting to the consequences or to the things that happen to you. You have your aspect of consequences to deal with. Res- res- Resilience is defined not by the absence of struggle, but refusing to reduce yourself or being made small by them. Her poem, Still I Rise, shows the essence of this quote's philosophy. Our word today, suffrage. And of course, you heard me say that doing earlier. Suffrage, SUFFRAGE. It means the right or privilege of voting in political elections. It is from a Latin word, suffragium, which initially meant a voting tablet or a ballot or the right to vote. In the 14th century, before um, before getting into the English language, it was actually used to mean a prayer of intercession or a plea for divine help. In the 16th century, the English kind of re adopted the word to go back to its Latin meaning, which meant to vote. So it has come down now through that English readaptation to mean the right to vote. Synonyms for suffrage or voting rights, enfranchisement, the vote, or you can say a franchise. The 19th Amendment, here's some sentences from for suffrage. The 19th Amendment granted suffrage to all, regardless of sex or regardless of gender. In 1893, New Zealand became the first self governing country to grant universal suffrage to adult women. Another sentence, the U.S. granted women's suffrage um, in 1920. Another one, constitutional law protects the right of suffrage to ensure that every citizen has a voice in their government. That's basically all I have today. Uh, the thought for today, again, is you are always better and greater than you think you are. Continue to move forward and persevere. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Parr. It is always inspiring when you go back and give us some history. And as you say all the time, you can't move forward unless you know where you've been. This this afternoon is Dr. Ross on yet?
He's not on.
Okay, well, we're going to continue the show. Um, he may have just taken a hiatus. I'm not sure. I know that there are a lot of people people since our show have been asking him to speak. So he's been getting some speaking engagements from from us. Lewis Cross will not be with us today. He's with his daughter who's having some difficulties, but he did send me a piece to share. And so what I'm going to do is share his piece. She took her to the hospital, but I've got what he's got for us. I am going to go back and I'm going to actually share the information. I'll be just kind of reading it for him, but I think this will be good information. And he entitles this "Health." He termed it that because um, I guess because I'm getting older, and he maybe um, maybe I need to take care of a few things. So listen to what he says to me. He got it from AI summary. He said to provide better health and well-being for seniors, consider these essential tips. Number one, stay hydrated, particularly during the summer, by drinking plenty of water throughout the day. Secondly, engage in regular physical activity such as walking or stretching. Thirdly, maintain a balanced diet rich in fruits, vegetables, and whole grain. And most importantly, schedule regular health checkups and screening with your doctor. The next one, prioritize mental health through social interactions, hobbies. Many times people say, I want to retire, and they don't get a hobby. For instance, Dr. Parr retired a couple of years ago, and you can see he is still doing historical exploration, still doing research. He's very active in his church. So get a hobby. He also aficionado, and he was an excellent horn player. And then the last one that Dr. Cross says, ensure adequate sleep by establishing a consistent bedtime routine. Some people think that all to do is go to sleep when they get tired and they'll get the proper rest. The studies have shown that that uh, people that sleep at the same time every day do quite well. Well, those are some tips. One of the things that we did earlier when we first started the show, we used to have someone come on and do exercise. We may still take that into consideration, but we have to see what the host, uh, TB Brooks, thinks in terms of that idea. And we exercise 30 minutes because our time will be gone. But we may do like we did before, bring somebody on board that can help us loosen up and a habit of exercising. Feel better, Tavon, when you exercise and you do all of the Thai food and all those things that you used to do when you were young. Tell the truth.
Yeah, I still feel good. You know,
Right. I know it. But that's because you still exercise too.
I do still exercise.
Right.
I do
So,
more of I do more of Tai Chi, yoga.
right.
Uh, Lifting weights is kind of, I don't
Pass
lift a lot of
say.
weights, but I do lift a little. But I'm more into
Yeah.
the Tai Chi. I'm more into the stretching yoga. You know, the
Okay,
calisthenics.
well, we might we might bring somebody on like we did previously to tell us the benefits, show us a couple of exercises, and that we might bring that segment back. But again, it'll be kind of left up to you. The next
Yeah,
piece that I'm going
I think that
go
would
on
be a great
there.
idea. That would be a
Okay.
great idea.
All right. So, but we won't take 30 minutes with it. We'll probably do just 10. Uh, but I think we'll incorporate that. It just depends on TV. So we have to see what he says. The next segment, the next segment is the one thing that we try to do religiously.
Dr. Paul, I think he has an internet issue, but I think he was mentioning that we were going to talk about some grants and some funding that he found that we're going to share when he come back. But let's do
Mhm.
this. Since he is frozen, let's take a quick break, and we'll be back in about 2 minutes.
Okay.
Again, keep in mind that the opinions and comments made on Mindful Mondays are those solely of the program host. We look forward to seeing you all back in a couple of minutes.
Take a breath. Take a breath today. Take a breath today. Take a breath today. Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath today. Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath today. Mindful Mondays. Mindful Monday. Take a breath today. Not to escape the work, but to center the why behind it. Be present in your purpose. Move with intention, not urgency. Lead from peace, not pressure. Mindfulness isn't slowing down the mission, it's sharpening it. Stay grounded, stay focused, stay
Did I get her?
Mindful Monday.
Man, today is all about technical difficulties. I tell you, Dr. Jackson, we need a whole community behind this project. We need everybody. So are we still hiring? Are we hiring again?
Certainly, but the problem has always been the financing, because as you know, you're still making what you started off making, even though we've given you 7 rates.
I know. What's it?
We've given you 7. We've given you seven titles. You're still making the same amount of money you made when you started.
Yeah, I know.
And I quadrupled my salary, and I'm still making amount that I made when I first started.
Mm-hmm.
So we know, as your friend said, we're trying to do something for the community, um, and so a lot of our time has been donated, and unfortunately, um, we don't do advertising and take money and all of that stuff because we want our version of the news to be our version of what we think is correct, and so
Mm-hmm.
we're not infatuated with, and because we're not for profit, we don't take money, and so we got to think of some other ways to get better technology. Well, let's go back. Are we on now and we're live?
We are
If
still live.
so, I'm going to do two. We're still live. That's great. I'm going to summarize two different proposals that we are working with, and we're groups with those proposals. You recall, to start this with, what is the difference between a grant and a loan? Pretty obviously, most people would say. Let me break it down to you. A grant is something that's given to you to further your cause, and there's no repayment plan. A loan is something that you acquire and you do all of the things that are necessary to get the funding, and it is repayable. And again, it helps you focus in on your agenda, but you have the person that gives you you must pay them back. So in that case, you would say the grant is a far better way to go in terms of out-of-pocket expenses. The answer to that is yes. However, sometimes people are so cognizant what they want to try to do in the nonprofit arena that they actually just go borrow the money and do what they try to do. Also, a lot of not-for-profits go the grant route, and a lot of for-profit generally try to do sometimes the loans. There are three proposals that are opening. I want to talk about the one from the community development. The CD proposal is due June 5th. Today is June the 1st. It is due in 4 days
And
for not for
this is for what grant again?
profit who want to help impacted by the tornado. And so it is a good suggestion. It is for not for profits. And so Yvonne Brooks is trying to do is actually help some of the families making the hidden gem bed and breakfast situation available to one of the profits so that they provide some housing for folk. And John Brooks, the founder of City Vision is a not-for-profit, and he will, if you want, he will show you how to set up a bed and breakfast on a for-profit. He will do some consulting with you for little or no charge. So if you want to try to do something of that magnitude and you profit, you may call him also. You can get in touch with him at cityvision.org, and you also may call him, but visit www.cityvisionstl.org, particularly if you are a for-profit working with a not-for-profit. And that is what Tavon is doing. He's actually lending his expertise to the Buchanan Foundation, and he is going to be working. And again, if you do not make the CDA deadline, he still is in a position to work with you. Would you want to talk about that? Part of your role as a host, Tavon, and explain why City Vision has taken on grandiose idea of helping people that are homeless.
Homelessness is one of the pillars of a community, a strong community. If
It's
you
something to do.
right, you have to have stable home in order to have a stable community. So participating in this venture where we're helping stabilize the community, or individuals with homes, we help stabilize the community. So I mean, I think it's a win-win for all. You know, people are out on the streets with no homes, cause other situations in the long run. So we just want to help out what we can when it comes to short-term rental.
The Buchanan Foundation has been active for years, and we've been working. I say we, the Mindful Monday staff and a consulting group have been working with them. Now, at this particular juncture, they have, believe it or not, they doing things. They take care of bills that have not been paid in terms of utilities. They take care of other items like that. Some of the families they've been keeping them in the hotels and all of that. So the Buchanan Foundation forward to understanding how Tavon Brooks and the creator of City View began to do bed and breakfasts, because they're going to try to pattern themselves after him and try to get some. So the CDA piece is something that we will talk a little bit about. If you have any questions, CDA, it's only 4 days, so we'll take questions for the next 2 days, and after that, uh, we got to try to help a couple of groups. One of the other groups that we're going to be helping with the CDA plant is the El Cardo Moore Consortium. And he is going to open up David Parr, Dr. and Norman. He is going to open up a small business incubator. And in small business, he's going to work specifically with the homeless, people that have ideas about opening up businesses, and he is going to help them find sources, money for
Dr. Jackson. So Dr. Jackson look like again he's in a bad area. Dr. John Skates, how are you, sir? You are on mute. Yeah. We saved the best for last. You know, he come in at the last minute, fashionably late, but it's all right because it's just, you know, we can't talk about our dedicated veterans in this world. So whatever they do, how they do, we have to just let them do what they do, because anyone that goes running into a bullet or running into a minefield had earned my utmost respect. Dr. Norman Ross, how are you, sir?
So far, very good.
That's good. Dr. John Skates, can you hear me now? Got to hit unmute.
Can you hear it, John?
He can hear, but we can't hear him. So while he figures that out, if you look at the bottom, well, he's going to come back in. So, Dr. Norman Ross,
Yes.
how are you, sir?
Very good. Very good.
It's good to hear. Dr. Jackson, you want to give him a couple of minutes to share his project? Can you hear me? It looks like he's modeling for a set of ear aids.
No, I'm gonna end with that. Let's just bring in
So I believe he said bring in you, Dr. Norman Ross. So I give you the last 10 minutes before we close out. If you can just take us on out with your spiel, we give you 10 minutes to share your presentation.
Oh, okay then.
And your screen is already on site. So without further ado, everyone, just to give an introduction to what's going on, Mindful Mondays is a 2-hour segment of just education, learning, information from the old to the, well, I don't call you all old, but from the mature to the younger crowd. It goes from African history to American history. It goes into just pretty much our lifestyle. The main goal of Mindful Mondays is how can we make this city, St. Louis, Missouri, actually this city, St. Louis, a better city, and hopefully that will spread across the globe and make the entire world a better place. But here's how we're going to learn: it's just simply learning ideas, seeing how we can better. We have Dr. Norman Ross, a highly educated individual when it comes to the African culture of where we come from. Dr. Norman Ross, without further ado, I give the people you.
Oh, okay. And I hope you can see my screen. I have on my screen
In Nebutet.
King Mentuhotep I. Yes. And this is where we left off, basically at the last session that we had. And King Mentuhotep, literally his name translates as the god Mantu, is content. And I want you to understand the god Mantu in ancient Kemet was the god of war. And this was a warring time. This was when we talked about the Old Kingdom period, which was a 505-year golden age. And it was called by historians the Pyramid Golden Age, because that's when the greatest and the largest pyramids were built. This was a period that ended in 2181 BCE, and BCE stands for before the Common Era. Literally, the king of that period when the Old Kingdom ended was King Pepi II. This king literally lived to about 90 or ruled to about 94 years of age. And his old age may have been a reason or a cause for the deterioration of the Sixth Dynasty, which was the last dynasty of the Old Kingdom period. And literally the governors of ancient Kemet, what we call Egypt, the governors literally became the power centers, the central rulership, the central government of the country, which was the king, had weakened and deteriorated, and these governors became warlords, and they were fighting each other for power, and that literally caused the disintegration of the Sixth Dynasty and ended the Old Kingdom period. And so for a period of 114 years, there was what was called this intermediate period, the first intermediate period. And this was a period of political instability. It was a period of drought, famine, and disunity, as well as civil war and civil factions and these different warlords fighting each other for power. Eventually, there were two families in ancient Kemet, one in the south and one in the north of Kemet, that literally were fighting each other. And the family in southern Kemet literally won out, and the king that united, literally reunited ancient Kemet into the a solid country was King Mentuhotep the First. He was the one who won out. Hence, that's why literally when we say the god Montu is content, the god of war is content, literally what we're saying, this was a period of warfare, and King Mentuhotep the First, his probably major god was the god of war, which was called God Montu. Okay, so he reunited ancient Kemet into what is called the Middle Kingdom period. This was the second golden age of ancient Kemet, and it was a period of 258 years. Okay, but we're going to go through that period, which consisted of the 11th dynasty. King Mentuhotep the First literally was the king of the 11th dynasty, and the 11th dynasty and the 12th dynasty, they made up the Middle Kingdom period, which lasted for 258 years. Okay, I want to tell you something about this statue that you see. You see King King Mentuhotep the First. He's wearing the red crown of Upper Kemet, which is Northern Kemet. And literally, the kings of ancient Kemet throughout ancient Kemet's history would literally show the same king, different statues wearing different crowns. Some statues would show him wearing the red crown of Northern Kemet, and other statues would show him wearing the white crown of Southern Kemet. And literally, it was a statement that the king was making, stating that I am the sole ruler of the two lands, Northern and Southern Kemet. Okay, let me tell you something about. I have my pointer on his face and his hands and whatever that shows he is jet black. Okay, now you can see that he was a black African. Okay, but this was not his actual color. His color was a copper brown. Okay, but whenever there was a statue of a king of ancient Kemet with jet black skin, this is a statement saying, I am a direct descendant of the god, Greeks called him Osiris, but his actual Kemetic name was Osar. Okay, so let me show you another picture, another statue of King. This is other pictures of statues of King of that same statue, but this is a statue of King Mentuhotep the First wearing the white crown of Southern Kemet. Literally, you can also see that his skin is copper brown. Okay, and in this picture, literally, he's wearing the white crown, stating, it's a statement saying, I am the sole ruler of the Southern Kemet and Northern Kemet. I am the sole ruler of both lands. Okay. This is another painting of King Mentuhotep the First wearing the red crown of Northern Kemet. Okay, and as you can see, his skin is copper brown. And here is where my pointer is a literally carved in rock is an image of King Mentuhotep the First, showing him also wearing the red crown of ancient Kemet. Okay, and as you can see, the images in these statues of Black African, ethnicity. Okay, this is the remains of King Mentuhotep the First, what is left of his funeral and temple complex. These are the ruins that you can see if you went to ancient Kemet now. These are the ruins that you can see of his mortuary temple. Okay. Tavon, I wanted to ask you, Are we about to wrap up, or do I still have time?
You have about 5 minutes.
5 minutes, okay. Let's see. Here's another statue, another photo of the statue of a standing statue of King Mentuhotep I wearing the red crown. And this is a diagram of his temple complex over here where I have the pointer. Okay. Here's another literally painting of King Mentuhotep I wearing the white crown. And as you can see, his skin color is literally copper brown. In many paintings of Egyptians and the kings, you'll see them, the men are colored in a red color. That's really designating their color as a copper brown color, but the Egyptian painted it as red or what have you. Women are generally colored in many paintings. They're colored in yellow ochre, which was a symbol of fertility. Yellow was a symbol. The color yellow was a symbol of fertility, and for men, they were generally pictured. Their image was that the color was of a red color, which was a color of virility. Okay, let's see. Here is a very interesting picture of above in the top here where I have my pointer. You see an image. This came out of the tomb of a Middle Kingdom general who was in the Kemetic army. And you have a picture of Egyptian warriors carrying a spear and shield. And you can see their ethnic color is that of dark copper brown. Okay. Down below that image, you'll see a picture of Nubian, literally, they have the bow and arrow. Nubian was famous in the ancient times for being very accurate with the bow and arrow. So this was a contingent of troops. These were probably mercenaries in the Egyptian army, and this was a contingent of bow and arrow fighters and what have you. Now you can see their skin color is darker, more of a jet black, and your Nubians were literally in ancient Kemet, when they pictured Nubians, generally it was of a darker brown color, but these were all black African ethnic people, the Egyptians and the Nubians. Okay. Here's a close-up of literally that contingent of ancient Kemetic fighters with their spear and their shield. And you can see their color is that of, kind of like a dark copper brown. Here's another picture of the left side of that photo. Oh, okay. Now here is a picture of one of the wives of King Mentuhotep I. This was Princess Ashut, and literally she's smelling a lotus flower. Okay, and you can see her skin is that of like a darker brown color. Here is a stone carving of Queen Ashut, and she's being fanned by one of her servants. Okay, she's one of the queens, one of the queens of King Mentuhotep I. Here's a second figure, a photo in stone a stone image carved in stone of Queen Kawit. This was a second queen. This was probably one of the chief queens of King Mentuhotep the First. And if you look at her, she's getting her hair braided in the African fashion, cornrow. Well, not cornrow, I'm sorry, just braid, African braids. And here is a stone carving, carved in stone, of King Mentuhotep. And in the back here, right in back of him, is Queen Kawit. And you see he's wearing the crown, the white crown of Southern Kemet. Okay, and here is a stone image carved in stone of Queen Kemset. This is a third queen of King Mentuhotep the First. Now, this is a picture of King Mentuhotep II, but Tavon, I think we may want to stop here. Tavon?
Yes, I am still here.
Yes, I think
it's a good time to stop now. We got 10 minutes to close out. There's so much going on. People are so interested in what you're saying. They're calling in, asking how to get on the show, but technical difficulties, we are not able to. But I think this will be a good point to stop. Let me just add all of our guests in because I think people are. I will say this, Dr. Norman, and everyone who's listening, is that when we started this podcast at Harris Stowe, we had a huge following. Harris Stowe had a flood. It required us to move out of Harris Stowe. We moved to a new location, which we're thankful to hear, and Jim was allowed to have a space. So we're building our following. But some of our following now are calling in. Our phones haven't been actually connected to the system yet. We're working on it. But people are actually calling in, asking questions specifically about yours, Dr. Norman, and yours, Dr. Parr. So maybe one day we'll have a session, Dr. Jackson, if we could, where we just have
those two.
Right. First, we start with the American history, then we can go back to the African or vice versa. But people are calling in about asking questions in reference to our history. Where can they get the books from? Do you have a book? Do you have an office? Do you have all of that is what's coming out of these questions, and it's a beautiful thing. But
I have a critical book list, ancient African history critical book list that I would like to, though, if they send in their emails, if they give me their emails, or if I can get them from you, I can send them that information.
I can too, because I have a list of books of American history and African American history. One of the books that you might want to start off with is Before the Mayflower, a very, very good book that kind of brings the history of African Americans from the beginning of this country when we came over in 1619 and kind of goes up to about 1961. It's by LaRon Bennett. Before the Mayflower. That's one very excellent book, and there are several others that have come out and that are coming out. But again, like Dr. Ross said, if you get their email addresses and their questions, I can send them a list of books.
Very good. I would definitely get their information. So that we can see that. They also here. But Dr. Jackson, before I give it back to you, I do want to share that tonight we're having a candidate forum, Meet the Candidates, where I will be one of the hosts, but we're actually interviewing all the candidates who are actually running for office. So if you all can see, this evening at 6, we will host the forum, the People's Forum, Meet the Candidates.
Okay, is this by phone or by Zoom?
This is by Zoom.
Great. So how do we get on?
So the Zoom, if you see here, there's the Zoom. You can join by the phone number 312-826-6799, or you can just join by the Zoom meeting. and the information we posted below, but the meeting ID and also the passcode.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you again. That's something for us to do. Um, I would like to. I think Dave, and Dr. Parr and Dr. Ross have had their closing remarks. Uh, I'd like for us to hear John Skates, the former poet laureate of the National Black Radio Hall of Fame. Can you patch him in?
He's already patched in. It
John
looked like he's
Skates?
patched. It looked like he's
Can you hear
patched
us,
in
John?
different other
Yeah.
locations.
Yes, we can hear you, John Skates.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear us?
He can hear
John
us, but we can't
Skates.
hear you. You got
Talk him through it, Tavon.
Mr. Skates at the bottom of your screen. There should be a microphone. Let me see how good you can take orders, soldier. At the bottom of the screen, there's a microphone. If you click on the arrow going up, it's going to pull up your microphone that you can choose from and select the one that says default. Can you see it? You should see the one at the bottom of the screen of the, it will have a microphone. If you click on that microphone and unmute it, it's the first one at the bottom next to the red Leave Studio button at the bottom.
Let's see.
I think you said something. Did you say something, Dr. Skates? You still there? This is why it is so necessary that tech and IT classes and workshops is so crucial.
Yeah, it is.
I always tell my friends that when it says in the Bible that it took 40 years and 40 nights to cross from Egypt into the promised land, which is actually like a 24-hour walk, but it took them 40 years or 40 nights. I feel like the challenge was understanding technology and how to navigate it. So it took them 4 years and 4 nights to really to understand it. So Dr. Skate, I think I just saw you mute
Was
and
John
unmute.
able to get in?
I just saw mute and unmute, Mr. Skate. So if you go to the bottom, next to the microphone we just muted, there's an arrow pointing up. Well, let's do this. Let's do this. H-N. Let's see if we have. Let's see. What's his phone number, Dr. Jackson? Well, I'm not going to ask Dr. Jackson. I don't think he wants all his girlfriends to know all his phone numbers, so I'm not going to.
Yeah. Telephone number. His telephone number is 314-986-7149. Keep in mind that this is the Mindful Monday show, and we do everything we can to get our guests and our persons online. Let me repeat that number again. You got the first part.
I called him, but it looks like he's on the other line right now. He's on the other line, so it looks like he's talking to someone looks a little bit better than us because he's not hanging up or clicking over. Dr. Skates, can you hear us? Mr. John Skates,
John
I'm trying to call
Skates,
you on your cell phone.
hang your phone up. John
Dr.
Skates, hang your
Jackson,
phone up.
I don't think you look better than the person he's talking to.
I think he hung it up.
Yeah, he hung it up.
He hung it up.
I can't complain, sir. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, sir.
We're going to take this back the old-fashioned way. You want to give a few words before we close out? We got 2 minutes.
Yeah. One of the things that I want to say is that as a veteran, a 60-year combat veteran away from Vietnam. I've been away from Vietnam for 60 years. And this new war has stimulated a lot of memories, a lot of nightmares. And when I came back from Vietnam, people didn't understand me. They just didn't understand me. I was lost. I didn't understand. People didn't understand me. But 60 years later, I'm in the same place. People, I'm religious. I sought redemption, and I found religion. But now I'm in religion, and I'm at the same place. People don't understand me. They offered me, or they asked me to be a bishop, and I thought about it, and but I told them no, I couldn't do that, because I couldn't be a hypocrite and tell folks I believe something that I don't believe.
Mm-hmm.
Who in church can tell a female that their skirt is too short? Is it 8 inches? Is it 7 inches? Or is it 2 inches? God accepted the disciples where they were. All of them had faults, and all of them was imperfect. And I believe that you got to meet people where they are. And so now I'm back at the same place that I started from. People don't understand me. And I don't know, is there something wrong with me? I'm suffering from PTSD. But during my life as a veteran, I'm alive today because I did everything 100%. I had to see, when I was walking point, I had to see the unseen. I had to tell the differences between silence and no noise. And the only way that I know how to live is 100% committed to anything. And so me trying to be the best that I can be, nobody really understands me. Nobody can really see me. And so that is a payment that I have to carry all my life. And nobody really understands me, which is a problem that only me knows and only I can carry, and something that I have to die with, because at the end of the day, nobody can understand me. So, I hope that you understand that. And I just appreciate the opportunity to express myself.
John Skates, we thank you for your comments, and we will get back with you next week. And again, Mindful Monday, we're intentional in terms of the stuff that we talk about. We're intentional in terms of making things better. And so we're going to get back with John Skates next week, and we're going to give him some time earlier in the program and see what we can do to help us understand him. He said nobody understands him. We want to understand him, and he does have a different perspective. He went in a war. He fought. Hey, it's Mindful Monday. We're intentional. And until Tavon will let you have the last word, but until next week, we hope that some of the things that we talked about today can and will make a difference in your life. I thank all our contributors. We normally use the last couple of minutes to each person say something. We're already over time, and we didn't even get to something funny. And Tavon had some other stuff that he wanted to talk about. However, we will see you a little bit later. Tavon, close us out.
Thank you, everyone. Mindful Monday is a space where we pause from the noise of everyday life to focus on growth, purpose, wellness, and meaningful conversation. Whether you're building a business, raising a family, or pursuing your dream, or simply trying to become the best version of yourself, this is a place of encouragement, reflection, and inspiration. Each week, we'll explore topics that exchange conversation to better our lives. I'm Tavon Brooks. I'm here with Dr. Jackson and the entire crew, Dr. Parr, Dr. Norman Cross, Mr. Skates. Thank you all for being a part of us today. Mindful Mondays, every day at 12 to 2. And we look for you again next weekend. Have a wonderful day. Mindful Mondays.
Have a great week.
Take a breath today, not to escape the work, but to center the why behind it. Be present in your purpose. Move with intention, not urgency. Lead from peace, not pressure. Mindfulness isn't slowing down the mission, it's sharpening it. Stay grounded, stay focused, stay Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays. Take a breath today, Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays. Yeah. Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays. Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays. Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays. Take a breath today, Mindful Monday. Take a breath today. Take a breath today. Take a breath today, Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays. Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath today, Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays. Take a breath today. Take a breath today. Take a breath. Take a breath today. Take a breath today. Take a breath today. Mindful Monday. Take a breath today. 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 Mindful Monday. Take a breath. Take a breath today. Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath today. Take a breath today. Take a breath. Take a breath today. Take a breath today. Take a breath today. Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath today. Take a take a take a take a take a take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath today. Mindful Mondays. Mindful Monday. Take a breath today. Not to escape the work, but to center the why behind it. Be present in your purpose. Move with intention, not urgency. Lead from peace, not pressure. Mindfulness isn't slowing down the mission, it's sharpening it. Stay grounded, stay focused, stay Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays. Take a breath today, Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays, Mindful Mondays. Take a breath today. 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 Mindful Monday. Take a breath. Take a breath today. Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath today. Take a breath today. Take a breath. Take a breath today. Take a breath today. Take a breath today. Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath today. Take a breath. Take a take a take a take a take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath today. Mindful Mondays. Mindful Monday. Take a breath today. Not to escape the work, but to center the why behind it. Be present in your purpose. Move with intention, not urgency. Lead from peace, not pressure. Mindfulness isn't slowing down the mission, it's sharpening it. Stay grounded, stay focused, stay Mindful Mondays. 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 Mindful Monday. Mindful Monday. Yeah. Mindful Mondays. Mindful Mondays. Mindful Mondays. Mindful Mondays. Take a breath today. Mindful Mondays. Mindful Mondays. Mindful